Estás escuchando el show de Chris Ogen con DJ in WCOM LP Chapel Carrboro.
Dr. Laurel's on the show tonight. What do you think about that?
Wow!
Do you think she's going to do a good job?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe they'll move back?
No.
You think they'll stay in Nashville?
Yes.
Yeah, they probably will. Okay, let's do the show.
Adios! You know I can, so I can't do it.
In the rosy parks of England, we're sitting have a drink, a BP wine and cider, so we can hardly think, and we'll go in a spirit thing, to heaven or to hell, and kick a bloody murder in the town we love so well. Go and try and smash up from the dear old street to King's Cross to the doors of the SCA. Go and try and smash up where did the wrestlers kick that shite, and I ain't going home. Lovely boulevards, the hammers inside the shores. We're scared of Camden Palace pubs and worry all our herds. There's lectures up in Whitehall and queers in the GLC. And when we've done the bastards in, we'll storm the BBC. Go and try and smash up Holland. For a Surrey duck to Somers Town with a KMRIA. Go and try and smash up Holland. When Jake the Raspers kick the shite, I'm not going home. It's all a bloody side. Go and try and smash up Holland. From Penrith Road and Sunset to the beauty that's the lane. Go and try and smash up Holland. We'll drink the rascals, kick a shite, and I'm not going home. This town has done us dirty. This town has bled us dry. We've been here for a long time and we'll be here till we die. So I finish off the leaving of blood and glue and bear. And burn this bloody city down in the summer of the year. Go and try and smash up Holland. From Arlington House to the two back to the Scottish Stores today. Go and try and smash up Holland. We'll drink the rascals, kick the shite, right up going hot.
Love it. Good evening, friends.
Good evening, Chris. Topher.
Good evening, Deej.
Yep.
A little pogues for you.
Just, that was a big pogues.
You like that?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
We're in the plaza.
Piggly Wiggly.
The Piggly Wiggly Plaza live. We're about 6.5 feet apart. So Deej and I added an extra 6 inches of separation just to be for safety.
Yeah.
The segment we did last episode where you did a news report, you gave the news from Durham. Turns out the audience loved that, so I think we should run that back. Let's make it a repeat segment.
Yeah, not to brag, but they call me the Walter Cronkite of Carrboro.
Let's just start right there. Deej, the news from Durham, please.
Yeah, I just kind of been sitting alone in my house.
Sitting alone.
Yeah, just watching Netflix, hanging out with my dog.
So that's it. Nothing's
Pretty
changed.
much. Yeah, wrestling with my dog.
This is the exact...
Singing to my dog.
This is what the audience loved last week, Deej, and I ran it back, and here we are again. Nothing.
I give the people what they need.
Speaking of your dog, though, I want to make a bigger deal about this because, Deej, Lilly Simons, your dog, named by Spin Magazine, the most important dog in radio.
Yeah. I don't want her to get a big head about it, so I didn't tell her.
Congratulations, Lilly.
Yeah.
Who do you think she beat out for that?
I don't know, like Clifford?
Isn't the RCA logo a dog that looks very similar? to
Yeah, yeah, they're estranged. They're half
They're
siblings.
related. And then throw in, he's not in radio, but remember Spuds McKenzie?
Yeah, he was a bull terrier,
kind of a crossover star.
Yeah.
And then what about the other one I thought about, the Taco Bell dog? Even though he's kind of a rock star.
It was a girl. It was a girl dog.
She was kind of a rock star.
I think her name was Gidget.
But congratulations to Lilly Simons, Spin Magazine's most important dog in radio.
Love you, buddy.
That's amazing. She's been on the show a few times. So really, Deej, nothing on the news front, man. I thought in the last 2 weeks since we've gotten.
Hey, I got my deck power washed.
That's big.
I thought that my deck was, just gonna rot, and I'd just kind of like walk out there one day and would collapse, and that's how I would die.
Yeah.
But they power washed it, and it looks good as new. Yeah. And like, man, I could eat off of that deck, and I intend to do so.
That is an example of a home improvement project where a few bucks makes a major improvement. I know I've done that multiple times. I know exactly what you're talking about. That feeling, the day they're done, you're like, I can't believe it looks that good.
You feel like $1 million, it's a new beginning. You feel like you can do anything. That inspired me to go buy a weed whacker because I have a weed problem in my yard. So I went out and I just whacked all the weeds, but I think I whacked some poison ivy because I got some pretty gnarly rash on my arm.
You got a weed problem in your house too, Deej.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that?
Outside of the house.
Yeah. It's always when you're doing home improvement, it's that question of, okay, do I do it myself? Which means I got to buy this or that tool. I got to watch a couple of videos. And it's my first time doing it, so I might do it poorly. Versus I hire an expert.
So if it was just power washing a deck, I would do it myself. But I found a bundle for a pretty good deal where I got my deck power wash, which I can do myself, and my siding power wash, which I would not feel comfortable doing myself because I don't want to point those things up at my windows, like one false move and you got like an upstairs window broken and go up there and there's like wet, broken glass and who knows how much that'll cost. That'll probably cost damn near as much as paying a guy to do all that. Anyway.
Oh, I can tell you one window about $400 or $500.
And third more, clean my gutters.
Man.
I have a very tall, thin house, and it's on a slope. So half of my house is 3 stories up. And for me, $500 is money well spent to not get on a ladder that high, because I would fall down.
That's a deal, Deej.
Yeah.
My point was going to be certain projects, you inevitably, whenever you start a project, you have to go buy a tool.
Yeah.
But power washing is an example of, I don't want to own a power washer. I've used one. They're bulky, they're clunky, they're clinky.
Yeah.
They seem like they'd be easy to break them.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to not own a power washer.
And you don't need them that often, and paying someone to come do it for you isn't that expensive.
You did the right thing, Deej.
I feel good.
Thank you for the news. Home improvement news from DJ Simons, folks. I've got a couple items.
Okay.
So the Carrboro Music Festival, Deej, is happening this year.
Okay. Virtually.
I want to announce that it's a virtual event this year. Yeah. It's going to be October 3rd and October 4th. If it's virtual, you don't have to say where. It's
just on the internet.
On your computer, folks.
www.carrboro.com.co/festival.
I'm glad to see it's happening. I'm disappointed it's not live.
I have played in a band at Carrboro Music Festival 3 times, and it's like the highlight of my year. It's like one of the best things I do all year when I'm able to do that. It's so fun. It's so cool. Now, when you're in a band like the bands I'm in, a typical audience size can be counted on all of your fingers if you do a lot of woodworking and have lost multiple fingers to a table saw.
Excuse me, sir. Jess and I attended one of your events.
Exactly.
Happily.
There's only 2 of you.
And you know who else was there? Laura from softball.
Yeah, Malcolm.
Laura Malcolm was there.
Yeah, Ask Malcolm. Yeah, someday.
Are we going to get that segment off the ground?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give her a call.
So I'm excited that the Carrboro Music Festival is happening. I told Karen Kay that I thought she should do an entry. I don't know if she did or not.
Yeah.
But even though she's great live, but anyway, Deej, they're saying Saturday, October 3rd and Sunday, October 4th. Okay, fine. That's smart. That's what I would do too. In prior years, most of the festival was on Sunday with only a few late night gigs on Saturday.
Yeah.
Explain to me that, Deej. I've never understood that.
I think it's kind of an opportunity to kind of like just get some more bands, some FaceTime. I don't think there's like anything more interesting than
No,
that.
but my point is Saturday's the day for bands. Like in years past, they did very little on Saturday, maybe 1 or 2 shows, and then like 700 shows on Sunday. I never understood why not have half of it on Saturday and half of it on Sunday. I'm thinking, does it conflict with football? I'm trying. Maybe that's it. Maybe it conflicts with UNC football. But I can't figure out why they traditionally didn't have the Carrboro Music Festival on Saturday.
Yeah, follow the money. I'm sure it just costs too much to do that. Because you got to shut everything down in Carrboro. Like, you cannot drive in Carrboro all day.
I didn't think about that. Okay, so a lot of the businesses that have...
Think about how many cops you got to hire to, like...
That's got to be it. Because, like some of the stages are, like, mechanics and dentist offices.
Yeah, and they can't work that day.
You can't have an optometrist open when DJ's band is rocking out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Well, that's cool, man. Okay, well, I'm excited about it, and I want you to know, in honor of that announcement, I wore my Carrboro Music Festival t-shirt.
Yeah, looks good on you.
Thanks, buddy. And listen to this, folks. This is the best deal you're going to find in Carrboro. If you go right now to the Carrboro...
It's the Century Center.
Yeah, if you go to the Century Center right now, and on the website, previous t-shirts from Carrboro Music Festivals are $5, Deej.
So dope.
And I went there, and they have like 6 or 7 previous t-shirts on there, and I went, and it was like $5, and then if you buy 3, they're like $1. It's crazy, the price. I got this particular shirt I'm wearing now, one for me, one for Jess. This is just last year's. The previous years before last year, the design is cool, but it's that old-fashioned cotton that I didn't love.
Yeah. Is that like a soccer jersey
This is like that kind of what I call that modern...
moisture wicking?
No, it's not a moisture wicking shirt, but it's like that soft cotton.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I feel like the standard t-shirt has come a long way in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, if I had a 6.5-foot pole, I would feel, but yeah, I don't.
The designs, all the old designs are really cool. What else can you get for $5 these days, Deej?
Nothing. Hey, but you know what's kind of weird about when I was getting the t-shirt is Chris and I play softball in the town of Carrboro Parks and Rec.
Chris who?
Correct league. Christopher Amsbury, the guy that you are.
Oh, the host of the Chris or Jenny show.
Yeah, host.
Okay,
your
good.
host.
All right.
The eye candy here. So anyway, I go up to the t-shirt kiosk, and you know who's working there? 3 umpires that umpire my games all the time. And like when you're a player, you kind of have I won't say antagonistic relationship with the umpires because it's just for fun, but they're the umpires and you're the player.
Oh,
so,
Deej, I've seen you work an umpire, my friend.
You gotta work the umpire sometimes. Every once in a while. I've never gotten ejected from a game, but I've definitely gotten up in their face.
Yeah, you have.
When they have it coming, and I know...
have you ever kicked dirt on their cleats?
There was this one game that it was us and another team, and we just been kind of like playing dirty all year, and we hated each other, and I was managing the team, and I play, obviously, but we had a lot of really good players that year, and I was like cool with kind of not playing that game because it's the playoffs, and I was thinking like, if there's anything I can do to get all fired up and get ejected from the game, I will take that bullet for the team.
Yeah, you will.
So I was like, I was pretty jacked up that day, and I was like, if these umps make one false move, I'm gonna get up in there and I'm gonna get ejected, and they're gonna kick me out, and I'm gonna go stand behind the bleachers. And they're gonna be like, "Sir, you have to be out of my sight." And I was gonna do that. I was gonna be that guy. I would have done it, and that's not my style, but I would have done it that day.
I know you would. But enough nonsense about softball shenanigans. We've got an amazing guest tonight.
Yeah.
Dr. Laurel Stolte is joining us. Yeah. But first, Deej, we forgot one of the segments of the show that we got away from. Is welcoming in our friends that are listening from all over the country, Deej.
Oh, that segment.
I'm going to rattle through them quickly. Of course, Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Great
I've been
town.
there.
Great town.
When I was in Asheville, I got in an auto wreck with a City of Asheville fire truck.
Deej.
Guess who crumpled whose vehicle in that transaction?
I can't wait to hear more about that. Deej, let's say hello to Kingsport, Tennessee.
Made up city.
Media, Pennsylvania.
No way that exists.
Portobello, Panama.
That's a mushroom.
And, of course, our friends in Geneva, Illinois, and Burien, Washington.
Heard of it.
And I want to give Burien some extra love here because, listen to this, Deej. This is true. I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
The Burien Brat Trot is happening virtually this Sunday.
Okay.
Do you remember Commissioner Joe Hauser? We've had him on this very program in the past.
Yes.
He is, this event is benefiting the Highline Schools Foundation, and Commissioner Joe Hauser is registered. I'd be curious to know if Commissioner Hauser paid for his own entrance or if he used like coffer funds for that.
He embezzled the funds.
We should look into that.
Yeah, they were ill-gotten.
Sports fact here: Joe Hauser last year finished in 117th place, Siege. 117th in the Brat Trot.
In the Brat Trot. Is that more about the Brat or the Trot? Yeah.
So this is a friend of mine. This is Jay Carlos, a dude I work with, and he's in Media, Pennsylvania, so he's rocking the Philly scene.
Yeah.
We will attempt to get Laurel on the phone. So hang out.
Laurel. Yanni.
Know where to find me when you need me. I'll be waiting for you, baby, like I always do. I said I'd be ready when you were ready to untie the tangled knots drawn up inside you. So come on and unwind when you're here. You know everything is gonna be alright. We never really know where we're going, but we sure know where we are. What's got you so worried, darling, when you know back into my arms? So come on, take it easy. We only got this one life, so why do you leave me? Oh, come on, just take it slow, 'cause I've got all night, and I'm never ever gonna let you go. I'll be waiting for you, baby, like I always do. You don't have to believe me, darling. One day you'll know it's true. And let me tell you, it's nothing new. I've been here all your life. I was born to love you. So come on and unwind when you're here in my arms. You know everything is gonna be alright. You know where to find me when you need me. I'll be waiting for you, baby, like I always do.
Jay Carlos Deej, a guy I work with. That's a good song.
Yeah. Kind of could see that being like the theme song of a late 90s WB dramedy, right?
I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
Let's welcome her in. Dr. Laurel Stolte, can you hear us?
I can.
Hey.
Good to be back in Carrboro, virtually.
Welcome. Hey, Laurel, I just got to ask you what everybody's thinking. Did you hear Laurel or Yanni?
Huh?
Remember that Yanni or Laurel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was curious if people named Laurel or Yanni. Do you remember what I'm talking about? A couple years ago, there was that ambiguous.
I do remember it, but I can't remember which one I actually heard.
Oh. Man.
Laurel, remember I told you earlier, I never know what the hell DJ is going to say. So
I want to hear the fire truck story.
We will get into that, DJ. We do want
right.
more fire truck story, but hold on. Let me introduce our guest. Laurel, let me tell you something. The audience has been going nuts for you. They're super excited about your performance tonight. I also want to thank you for staying up. What is this, 4 hours past your typical bedtime?
Yeah, this is so late.
The Stoltes
I'm
are...
so excited to hear your radio show for the first time because 10 o'clock on a Friday night is late.
Only for us will you stay up this late. We really appreciate it. It's good to have you on. I read an article about that one negative side effect of the pandemic is a lot of people are turning into insomniacs. And I'm kind of leaning in that direction. I'm actually staying up later than usual. Yeah. Laurel, has that affected anyone in your family, or you're all still like 7:30 and you're out?
Well, my daughter has always been our insomniac, so she's always still going strong. She's a party animal.
Because Jess is like you guys, Laurel. I'm telling you, as soon as we eat dinner, she's already thinking about bed. And my daughter is also following in my footsteps of staying up late. So now, Laurel, you're saying that's always been the case, and COVID has not been. Has it made it worse or better, or just neither?
I think it's made it worse in that I'm getting up like at 3 a.m.
Ugh.
There's a 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because constantly changing, like, schedules, you know, like right now we've got parents who are like, I want virtual learning. No, I want Plan B and Beyond. Oh, no, we're not on Plan B and Beyond. We're just on Plan B. Yeah. And so there's kind of like lots of random little spreadsheets to change, and I tend to make mistakes anyways, but I'm definitely going to make mistakes if it's 9 p.m. So 3 a.m. is when you might actually end up on the right bus.
Okay. Now, Laurel, I am a fellow night owl, a career night owl since my salad days, and everybody, including my parents and my brothers, they're all morning people. I don't go to bed before midnight or 1 a.m., even though I have a 9 to 5. I have a theory on why that could possibly be, and here it is. Growing up, my bedroom was on the west side of the house, so I did not get that AM shotgun of melanin, or melatonin. What's the sunshine?
Vitamin D.
Yeah, I didn't get that sunblast in the AM to kind of wake me up and get my Jiminy Jillokers going.
That was definitely it, Deej.
I think so. But everybody else, their bedrooms were all on the east side of the house, and they woke up with the sun. I didn't have that, and I kind of wonder if that might be it. Do you have any bedroom pattern that you can follow that would explain?
That's an interesting theory. That works out for our family right now.
Okay, I wonder.
My house growing up, it was kind of like a weird... It wasn't pointed east or west, so I don't know.
Growing up in Kingsport, Tennessee?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have like a layer that was like embedded in a mountainside and it just didn't get any natural sunlight?
It was an old farmhouse, and so, you know, it didn't have that many windows except for, I guess, a north-south one.
The show is huge in Kingsport, Tennessee, so we want to say hello to those folks as well.
Hello, Kingsport.
Yeah. Could we get, Laurel, we're excited to have you, but let me just ask you, could we get Grandma Sue to come on the show at some point in the future? Just hit me straight, Laurel. Is that a possibility?
Oh, yeah. There might be some technical challenges, but...
Well, we've got it to the point. If you can operate a phone, I can call you. Tonight, I want you to know, normally we have to have the guest call us. Tonight was the first time we actually successfully called out of our studio phone, so I'll call her. I mean, will she stay up late, or back to that whole insomnia thing?
Oh, she'll stay up late. She's a night owl, but I think the phone thing is probably 50-50. So you might want to back up.
Oh, we always have a backup.
Beep, beep.
What do you think, Deej? Grandma Sue is awesome. She is a lovely woman. I'd love to have her on the show. I really would.
Hey, my mom is named Sue, and she's a grandma on account of my niece and nephew.
Hey, it could be like Grandma Sue night.
Let's get like every Grandma Sue.
You got a few Grandma Sues.
Yeah.
Then
let's let them like.
Wouldn't you be good if one of them doesn't answer the phone?
Yeah, they'll like. Let's let them like fight for the title. We should have like a Grandma Sue off.
Or just a grandma off, and so I can include my mom.
Yeah.
Who is definitely up at 10:30. She's super late night out. Yeah.
Is Aunt Mare a grandma? Because
she's just an aunt. No, she has no. But she's the world's aunt. She's everyone's aunt.
Yeah. Hey, remember Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Where one was red and one was blue?
Yeah, and that little plastic thing, and you like slap the thing, and they'd like fight to the death. We could do that, but with grandmas.
Oh my God, Deej. He's lost it. Laurel, I apologize. He's lost his mind.
Grandma Sue so did not approve of that toy.
Oh man,
Did you?
I
You
think
had
Eli
that.
found one of those.
I feel like I've played that game at your house in the past.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, when we think about the people that this town has lost, Deej, the list is, very few people leave. You think Michael Jordan, you think James Taylor, maybe Mia Hamm, for example, but it's the Stoltes whose loss we really feel. So I just want to let you know, Laurel, that us folks that are still here, we miss you guys. I just want you to know that.
Well, we miss you all. Come visit Asheville. Anybody? Carrboro, Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
Come visit.
Do you hear that, folks?
We'd love to see you.
The entire town of Carrboro has just been invited to the Stolte household. I just want to point that out.
I mean, I need a do-over in
I know
Asheville.
COVID and all, but
Yeah.
we kind of miss, having friends over. You
Yeah.
can camp on our porch or something for right now. And
That's awesome. Let's get to this Asheville fire truck story, Deej. Is that where you were going?
So it was about 4 years ago in the summer. I was visiting Asheville. It was we got there Friday night, and it was like first thing Saturday morning. And I was driving in what I thought was a lane for cars, and there was a fire truck next to me. I was going to turn right from our street onto a one-way street, and I turned, and the fire truck got closer and closer and closer, and then it completely destroyed my car. I was physically fine, fortunately, but it was a very close call. And it turns out I was in a parking lane that looked just like a regular lane, so I was at fault. And the fire truck squashed me, and we were both going from a one lane, turning right onto another one lane. So I had to spend the whole weekend like dealing with the insurance companies, and then I had to get my car towed back from Asheville to Durham, and then I had to rent a car. I got a Camry, which is a really nice car. I think I'm going to get a Camry next time.
That was 4 years ago?
Yeah, summer of...
I knew you 4 years ago. I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, we knew each other then for sure. Wow. It was probably literally the day after the end of season Squids party, because I would not schedule a vacation during the season.
Did the fire truck apologize? Or?
Well, it was my fault. They were very nice about it. And the cop who came, he's like, look, I have to give you a ticket because you're at fault, but there's tons of accidents here. That parking lane is poorly marked. So I don't know. Wow. Everybody was really nice about it. Like, I was at fault. There's no defense for it. It just looked like a normal lane, and it was a parking lane.
I'm glad you survived, Deej. I'm glad you survived.
Worked out okay.
Yeah.
Laurel, you have lived in what many people would consider two of North Carolina's finest cities. And I know you've only been in Asheville for a year plus or minus, and half of that time you've been in quarantine. But give me the flavor from a resident's perspective, pros and cons of Asheville versus Chapel Hill, Carrboro.
Well, pros of Asheville, big part of the move to Asheville were the mountains. So even in quarantine, we've been having fun outside. And
right, you could probably get outside more there than you could here now, don't you think?
Yeah, getting outside is pretty easy, and there's lots of choices. It's not, River and repeat, even though there's lots of good spots around Chapel Hill and Carrboro, but there's a lot more around here. Yeah. But it's nice having a small town. We're meeting some friends, but there's definitely tourists. We kind of, at this point, just drive through downtown, which can be really fun under normal circumstances. Gawk at the tourists and be like, "Ooh, yeah, we're not going down there this weekend because all Florida's up here."
There are tourists. Is that what you said? Okay, all right.
Kind of like when you drive UNC, like on, like a big frat weekend, and you're kind of like, well, yeah, like.
Okay.
So, Laurel, what are like the stereotypical tourists like, and like what's the most irritating one that you just see them and you roll your eyes?
There's definitely times when you'll see like Floridian plates all over town. Nothing against Floridians. There's some wonderful Floridians out in the world.
No, there aren't, Laurel. Please do not lie on our show.
There's bound to be a few.
They're flatlanders because they live in Florida.
Small percentage.
So some of them can't drive in mountains.
Tourists,
some of them don't believe in masks. and just all sorts of Floridian fun.
Like I think Carrboro and Chapel Hill get tourists, but obviously not to the level of Asheville. I mean, people come from all over the country to go to Asheville. Sounds like they come from Florida a lot too.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Because it's a cool place to come, I guess.
Right, but why Florida and Asheville? Why that combo?
What do you think, Laurel?
Florida's hot and flat.
Opposites attracting.
I've never quite figured out Florida as a destination. Like, I get the beach, but only for a few hours at a time, and so
yeah. Well, there's really like 4 or 5 different Floridas, right? There's the Panhandle, which is basically Alabama's southern campus, and then there's like Central Florida, Disneyland, and then there's Tampa, and then Miami, and then other. I guess they're all pretty different.
Tourists. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But a lot of the little towns around Asheville, I tell you, Laurel, the last time I went there with some friends, like for a hangout weekend, we didn't even bother with Asheville. Kind of like what you're saying. We went to Black Mountain and just spent the whole weekend there. It's a smaller version of. It's fun. It's everything that Asheville is, but it's smaller. But I've reached an age where I don't need to go to the 8th bar. I'm happy with 2 or 3 nice places to go. And
so Black Mountain for me holds a very special place in my heart because my personal record for longest drive without stopping was from Cincinnati, Ohio to Black Mountain, North Carolina. That's where I stopped because I had to use the restroom really bad.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of
riveting.
Turned into Yellow Mountain to catch my...
Wow, Deej, that's riveting.
Yeah, because of...
Wow, Black Mountain is a wonderful town.
Yeah,
and but
great
that might have
restrooms.
just ruined it for me.
Great restrooms.
Who remembers things like that? DJ, I would never remember where I stopped to pee.
Yeah.
Where did you get your PhD from again? I was trying to remember. I read about it, but where was that?
Harvard, whatever.
Yeah. So
Harvard.
A small liberal arts school in the Northeast.
Was
Yes.
that your safety school?
So when you meet someone who went to Harvard, they often, when you ask where they go, they kind of they hesitate like you.
Like, yeah, she just did it.
Yeah.
Exactly
So
what you were
could you
talking
kind of
about.
talk about that? What's going through your mind?
People either think you're a know-it-all who doesn't know what's going on, or they think you know everything.
Okay, so it's kind of like a lot of pressure.
I definitely don't know everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious.
We don't think that. Laurel, a lot of people consider Marshall University the Harvard of the Mid-South. I don't know if you've heard that, or Deej, if you have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You said that. Yeah, you said that last time. And that's when I heard it.
I'm just going to keep saying it until someone believes me.
But yeah, I mean, I know some people that went to Harvard, and it's like they all kind of react this hesitant way, and it's kind of sad because I kind of feel like Harvard's kind of the ultimate achievement in a lot of ways.
I think you should be proud of it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. But I kind of get what you're saying because it's it's kind of a mixed blessing in a lot of ways. It's kind of the ultimate achievement, but at the same time it carries a lot of responsibility and baggage with it.
Yeah.
Baggage in a good way.
Yeah, I do feel a little bit like a Harvard slacker sometimes,
Ooh.
but I'm all right with that.
Well,
Harvard slackers.
We on the Chris or Jenny Show are very proud of you.
All right.
All right, hang out.
When you're feeling valley low, I can be a street light, showing you the way home. But you can hold my hand when you need to let go. You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I can be a mountain when you're feeling valley low. I can be a street light, showing you the way home. 'Cause you can hold my hand when you need to let go. Want a house with a crowded table and a place
great song.
Beautiful.
You're playing that. That's one of my faves.
You're a vice principal of a elementary school in Asheville.
Yep.
Okay, I've got 2 elementary school related questions. Do you want the hard one or the easy one first? It's your choice.
Let's take the hard one. We're ready to go.
Okay, here's the
I
question.
took a nap before the show.
Did you drink any Stolte lattes before the show? That's what Jess was wondering.
Nah, just some wine.
Oh,
Friday
okay.
night.
Yeah. Well, listen, the motto of this show is whatever you're drinking prior to the show, have one more of those. It makes it go a lot better.
Yeah, so Latte's missing you. He doesn't really have any customers or anybody to drink his lattes with
Oh,
anymore.
my goodness.
So.
Despite his complete lack of helping me prepare for tonight, I definitely miss that fella. Okay, Laurel, here's what everybody wants to know. So again, I'm the dad of a second grader in a North Carolina school. From the parent side of the fence, it's like, okay, we're in this situation. We're in online school. First, let me ask you, your school, 100% online? That's plan B, right?
There's so many A, B's, and C's that I've lost track. Buncombe County is officially in Plan B and beyond, which means that our kids had the option to go completely virtual, or they could come for a week of onboarding. And so that first week of school, they came for 2 short days each in small groups. And then they've been virtual since then. But now they are coming back in small groups again starting next week. Some kids will come Monday, Tuesday. Some kids will come Thursday, Friday. And then we have virtual classes that are going on at the same time as well. So a few teachers at grade level who are virtual and a few teachers who are in person. That could change again.
Yeah. Now, do you find that certain classes, like certain subjects, are more or less conducive to e-learning?
I don't know if we've found a subject yet that's that conducive to e-learning.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all kind of
Yeah.
it's all kind of difficult, and it's just the parents really have to help. I mean, that's the deal.
Yeah, I have a family member who's a Spanish teacher for middle school. You know, she has to go in and teach Spanish in a mask, and like that doesn't work. You gotta see your Spanish teacher's face and like watch how they make the lip and mouth movements. Like you can't learn a language watching someone in a mask. You know, like I feel like certain ones are especially unconducive to in-person mask learning, for example.
Yeah, it's rough. You're speaking Laurel's language.
Yeah, no,
by the way.
like beginning literacy in foreign languages, like that's especially hard. We've got some of those, the masks that have the clear part where you can like see people's mouths, but then they fog up right away.
Yeah.
And, you know, like so.
That's your whole deal, right? Laurel, I read a little bit of your dissertation for, what was that school again? Harvard? Where what was?
Brevard County.
Brevard,
yeah.
right? But
It's
you're
like
all
junior college.
You're all about immersion, right?
I'm all about kids becoming bilingual and, you know, making sure that whatever language they speak, that's seen as a strength and they get to keep nurturing it. But it's really hard to do that virtually.
So, okay, in your case with your kids, there's a little bit of in-person mixed in with a little bit of online. Here in Carrboro, Chapel Hill, it's 100% online. I mean, my personal opinion is it's kind of going as well as it can go. Different parents will say different things. For sure, everyone should stay off of social media. I wanted to get your perspective from the online learning piece of it, just from the principal's perspective. Are you all sitting back there saying, you know, gosh, it's going great, it's going horrible? How do you think it's going? You know, take your parent hat off and your principal hat on. How do you think it's going?
I think in some ways it is going as well as it can be, but it's not great. And, you know, I feel like we're incredibly privileged as parents, and there's a lot of parents that it's way worse. We've definitely, when you're looking at like single moms who are working crazy hours and their oldest kid's a middle schooler and they're at home with all the kids and they're not doing their work, and there's not really much you can do about it if you're not going to quit your job. And I mean, you can set some consequences in place and things like that, but kids need interaction to learn. Like we've known that for a long, long time. And
the disparities that you've been talking about for a long time. What I've noticed is that they're even more exemplified now during this time. Yeah, I mean, there's kids in my daughter's class that are just like, oh, you know, you want to put your arm around them and help them, but you, like you just said, you can't. You're on a screen, you can't help them. The teacher's doing their absolute best they can, but yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think it's hard on our teachers because you know, they're working harder than they've ever worked before. And I mean, they work hard in a typical year, but this is crazy. There's kind of no boundaries, and it's kind of just you're on 24 hours a day to some extent.
I will tell you, my daughter's, and she's new and young, and she is, in my opinion, absolutely amazing. I couldn't be happier under the circumstances with what my daughter's teacher's doing.
Awesome. Yeah, teachers are working so hard, but it is hard because you see you're working harder than ever, but you're also accomplishing so much less than ever just because, like, you need that in-person support to really be able to reach every kid, but especially your most vulnerable kids.
Yeah.
Now, Laurel, when I was a kid, when I was subject to discipline at the, academically, which was frequent, seeing the vice principal, that was the scary one. Because the principal, the principal is like the superstar. The principal is like the Johnny Knoxville, who's like, always off at like press junkets and, like important meetings. So if you had to go see the vice principal, that was like you were in deep trouble.
I can't imagine Laurel. Now, go ahead.
What is meeting with, kids like me over the internet instead of in person?
That's a good question. Like, how do you discipline?
In person, you can like glower over them, but I don't know. What are the differences?
I really haven't had much of that this year, but I did get my first moment where I felt like that assistant principal you were talking about. Because, like Chris says, I'm not really usually that AP. I'm all about restorative justice and, helping kids learn from their experiences. But, or at least I was until I had to bring my own son to school for a day last week. And then I could close that assistant principal door and lay into him because he spent 2 hours. He just didn't want to copy a half a page in a notebook, which is what his teacher told him to do, and was emailing her to try to see if he could type it into a Google Doc and doing every little avoidance thing he could. And that's when I finally closed the door and was just like,
he is a wonderful kid that can do no wrong.
This is my AP moment.
Right.
But my best story is I've had to do a little bit of investigative work because I have one of my students whose family doesn't speak very much English. He's a kindergartner, doesn't read yet in any language or write. And he has been submitting some very interesting PE assignments that have profanity pretty much every week in them.
Oh, my goodness.
And some of them kind of have a beat to them, too. Like, so it'll be like a picture or, him doing something, but then there'll be like some text in there. There's always some profanity in it. I wish I knew I had broader music knowledge. I should put you guys on and help you figure out what's going on. But what I think is happening is when you go into Seesaw, you can voice record, and so you can have it do like voice to text. And I think there's some music going on in the background. And so this kid is turning in every single week these, like paragraphs that have like kind of this weird rhythm kind of thing, but it doesn't really make sense. You can't figure out what song it is, and there's usually some sort of F-bomb or something in there. And at first I'm just like, I still don't know what to do about it, because I can call up the parents and I can, translate the whole thing and start, cursing at the parents in Spanish. This is what she said, but it's like some, it doesn't even make sense. It's just a string of words because it's.
You think it's his parents just like rocking out in the background to some music? Or
I think his parents are just rocking out in the background while he's doing his work, and he's putting on the voice to text and then submitting it as his assignment. But trying to explain that, especially his parents are that comfortable with English or technology, and it's just a mess.
Yeah.
Mostly been ignoring that one for right now and just laugh at it because it's funny. So and lay into my disciplinary skills need some work, but
But you bring so many other
funny.
You bring so many other skills to the table.
Hey, so do you know who is credited with coining the term F-bomb?
No.
No. Who is that?
Justin Bieber?
No, it's former Mets and Expos catcher, Hall of Fame catcher Gary Carter.
Only Deej. He's a baseball aficionado.
Can you tell us about that etymology? Like, what's
give us some etymology, Deej.
Well, I think it's a play on the H-bomb, like the hydrogen bomb from World War II. and he just kind of like parlayed, the F word into F-bomb. It's a playoff of H-bomb. He's credited as being the first person to kind of say that in public and have it published during an interview.
There you go.
Wow. Chris, I'm sure Chris has told you about Sidelines. This is just a huge shout out to WCOM. And when we first moved to Chapel Hill, we would listen to, this was before we had jobs. And it was like in the middle of the day sometimes. But there was this amazing show that was a sports show called Sidelines that had this level of knowledge.
Chris Stolte telling me about Sidelines. Yes, I do remember. Now I was thinking like, wait a minute, I didn't know. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's hilarious.
But it disappeared, and we were sad, and then, we got busy and didn't get to listen to WCOM during the day, and you guys are bringing it back.
That's right. Listen to the Chris. Listen to our show anytime you want, Laurel. Okay, here is the real question. This is what the audience wants to know. You're the principal of a school. Right now, you're the vice or the assistant, but I know one day you will be the principal of a school. There's no question in my mind.
Don't diminish her like that.
What do you mean?
Vice principal is a very impressive accolade.
But for the point of my bit, though, I need her to just be the principal.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Laurel, what do the parents of the kids call you? And let me explain my question. Now, you're my friend, so if you were magically the principal of McDougal Elementary, I think I'd still call you Laurel. Would that be cool?
I'm completely cool with that.
Okay, but let's assume that you're the principal of our elementary here. Our principal doing an excellent job, Aisha Howard. What should the average parent call the principal? The examples to me are as follows. I mean, Principal Howard would be the obvious one, or Mrs. Howard, or Dr. Howard if she's a doctor, or by the first name. Like, I'm a big first name guy, but Jess is like, no, we should say Principal Howard. So, Laurel, what do you want to be called by the parents of kids in your school that you aren't already friends with?
I'm a big first name person, too. I kind of tend to roll that way with every adult.
Yeah, that's me too. Like, I call my doctor by their first name. I'm a big first name person too. But do you think, generally speaking, your principals have this expectation of, well, I've worked my butt off to get here, you need to call me Principal Stolte or whatever? Are some principals that way?
I mean, there's some people that have that, but it took me. I know there's some people that are like that with the doctor thing, and it took me a while to even put that on my door, and then I figured it was good learning for kids that there's different kinds of doctors out there in the world. In fact, we
actually meant to call you Dr. Stolte this whole time, so I apologize for that.
Thanks, Mr. Ansberry. You need to get the doctor on there.
Is there a title below Mr. that we can use for Chris?
Whatever the minimum title for me is.
Inmate.
Fun.
Laurel, I've got 1,000 more things I want to talk to you about, but believe it or not, we have officially run out of time.
Thank you, guys. This was super fun.
Yeah,
you guys might motivate me to stay up till 10 o'clock on a Friday night more often, and that would be a big accomplishment.
We'll have you back on. I want to talk about immersion. I want to talk about education. I want to talk about your Portobello project. I've got all kinds of stuff, but we're going to get kicked out in like a minute. So thank you so much for coming on. It really is great to hear your voice. And I'm not kidding. I miss your family. Last words, I guess. Deej, any last words?
No, thanks for coming on. It was good to talk to a vice principal and kind of see the innards of how things are working in academia. Laurel, last words from you, my friend.
We miss y'all.
You miss DJ? You just met him tonight.
Carrboro and Chapel Hill.
I have that effect, though. It's like an instant classic. I'm instantly missed.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Again, Laurel, thanks so much. Get some sleep. We'll talk to you down the road, okay?
All right. Good night, y'all.
Take care.
In a recent interview, 81-year-old Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg stated she has no intentions of retiring, even though she's the oldest judge on the bench. Here now to comment is Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Weekend Update 2015. Oh, yeah.
Wow, welcome. You seem very spry for 81.
Yeah, you'd be spry, too, if you had my morning routine. 100 push-ups, 100 laps in the bathtub, and then I do my P90X, where I pee 90 times. I might be the oldest judge on the bench, but that doesn't mean I'm the closest to death. Have you seen Justice Scalia? It looks like he's permanently hooked up to an IV bag of bolognese. Hey, Scalia, you just got Ginsburned.
Justice Ginsburg, I gotta say, that's pretty harsh coming from you.
Yeah, I'm like a horsefly, you know? I bite hard and I look like a horsefly.
Now, what about the State of the Union where you were caught sleeping?
No, I wasn't sleeping. I was giving in to the weight of my glasses.
I'm sorry, Justice Ginsburg?
What? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was having a disgusting dream about Bruno Mars. He was uptown funking me.
Okay. Oh, my God. No, Justice Ginsburg.
I know he's short, but, you know, I like my men like I like my decisions. 5'4". That's a third-degree Ginsburg.
Justice Ginsburg, come on, you know?
No, call it, you know what? I'm living every 81-year-old's dream. I get paid to sit on a bench all day and judge people. But you know how rare it is to be 81 years old and actually have people listen to what you say?
Okay, well, the Chief Justice of Alabama actually said he won't listen to your ruling on marriage equality.
I expect that from Alabama, you know. They never recognized the ruling on incest either. The verdict is in. You've been Ginsburg.
Oh, my God. No. RBG.
What? Look, no, it doesn't matter what Alabama does, okay? Because when I get a hold of that gay marriage ban, oof, it's gonna fall faster than Madonna at the Brit Awards. They say justice is blind, but anybody can see. You burned.